What's up guys, we're back with another Rocket League tutorial slash drills for beginners, and today's topic is going to be all ground stuff. So last video we did mostly like just aerials and stuff. There's going to be a lot more on just ground control, and we're actually going to work with the ball this time. So your controls will always still be based off your car's orientation. What I mean by that is, let's just say you drive towards this boost, right? If you make a left turn, you're still obviously making a left turn with your car, and right turn, vice versa. But let's say you're facing the boost now, and you hit your ball cam. Now what the ball cam does is, it can kind of confuse newer players. It's just a different perspective, right? So you're looking at the ball, but your back's facing the ball. So technically your left is still your left here, but then if you have ball cam on, your left will technically make you turn right according to the perspective of the ball cam. That's something to just keep in mind when you're doing this Powerslide drill. So if you ever go around here, just make sure you know your left from your right. It sounds really simple, I know, but people will make the mistake in the beginning. So something to get used to. Alright, let's continue on the drill. Just reset shot, and then starting at one of the kickoff spawn locations, right? Just drive around the ball and try to make a turn with Powerslide. This could be a sharper turn. Also, you could use unlimited boost because we'll just need boost to get up to speed before we make the turn. So just boost around, and then just try to use Powerslide to make a roughly like 180-degree turn, so you could turn towards the goal immediately, right? And then try to like score off of this position. The closer you can get, the better it'll be. You'll have to mess around with the Powerslide timing. That's something that I can work on too. Like, that was okay. Try to just practice using your Powerslide to make that turn. And then at the end of the turn too, you want to boost, because whenever you use Powerslide, right? After you've entered max speed, use Powerslide, it's going to eat up a lot of your speed. So while you're making that turn, you lose speed, but immediately after, once you finish your turn and the nose of your car is facing the ball, that's when you should start boosting again, and then you'll touch the ball and gain back momentum like a lot sooner for a more efficient turn. That was not the greatest. It's okay. Some tips and tricks to get this down sooner is, of course, when you drive up to the ball, right? You need to just pick a side of the ball that you're gonna go around, left or right. Maybe just depending on the spawn location, right? Just drive more towards that side first. So it's like pick a side, left side, and you need to create a little bit of distance before you actually do your Powerslide input. So don't be like driving up to the ball like right next to the ball. You're probably not gonna be able to make that Powerslide turn. And another thing to remember is you can make the Powerslide turn a lot sooner. If you can make the turn sooner, then you might be able to get to the ball quicker. Of course, if you do it too soon, you might just bump into the ball, but this is where the practice comes in. So it's like at first, just like try to make the turn. You might overshoot a ton, so you have a ton of space, and sometimes you undershoot and you might just like bump into the ball accidentally. You don't make that turn right behind the ball perfectly, so that's fine. Just make sure you keep practicing, and that's a really good way to just gauge what you're doing wrong. If you overshoot both ways incorrectly, you can slowly narrow down to what's like the good turns. Yeah, eventually you'll be able to get right behind the ball perfectly every time. So once you're able to make the turns kind of consistently, you can go on to the next step, which is just tapping the ball one side and doing the same thing. This is because when you're in a game, right, the ball is never going to be stationary in the center. So that was just for you to get used to doing your turns, and then now just practice rolling it to one side, going around, doing the same thing, and just try to pop the ball up. So when the ball is actually moving, you'll have to overshoot a bit, just because you have to cover the distance that it's moving towards, right? So it's like rolling, I have to overshoot a little more. That was an okay turn. Priority is just to pop it towards the goal side, because once you do that, you have a lot of options to work with. So tap one side, pop up to the other. You can just keep doing this. You don't always have to reset shot too. You can like pop it up, And get it rolling again. Or just go to the other side immediately. And let's practice again. Pop. Go back around. Pop. Before we begin the ground drills, let's just talk about one simple option you get after popping the ball straight up. So once you get around the ball and you pop it, with that height, just try to do what you learned from the first video, right? So it's going to be a single jump aerial and you want to just front flip at the ball. Get around to the ball, pop it once, and just jump up and front flip. The cleaner your contact is, the harder you're going to hit it, right? So the same thing, pop it up once, and just front flip it towards the net. This will be a very simple ground to air transition type of offense, and just work on this for now. If you can get this to work, you'll be able to do the next steps in the future as well. So this technique is going to be very useful when, let's say, your opponent can't clear the ball very well and they're forced to roll like a very simple ball towards you. You could just pop it up and then score. It's mainly just used as a quick counter attack or scoring open nets, so nice skill to learn. These next two drills will be two core mechanics of the ground game in Rocket League. So drill number 1 is going to be bounce dribbles. Your goal is to pop the ball up, and then after you get that pop, you want to try to hit the ball every time it bounces on the ground. So get the pop, and this is where it can be a little tricky because you have to manage your speed and momentum to get the pop constantly. So for now, just work on, maybe try to like bounce dribble without boost. That might be something to practice. This could be hard. I don't really even do this too. I'm not gonna get too far with it too, but this will really help you like try to maintain speed. And then once you have an opportunity on the net, you could just try to shoot it. It's gonna be hard to hit the ball as it comes up every time. This is like a tough timing thing to learn, but once you get it down, it won't be as bad and it'll add to your offensive game. Of course, realistically in a game you might not have that much time, but it's nice to just practice your car control of this. And if you can just bounce it without boost, it'll help you immensely, because once you have the right bounce, you can line up your shot and then start using boost to catch up to the ball. If you start boosting immediately while you're doing this bounce dribble, you're probably not going to catch up the ball too well. You'll have less options. The closer that you can keep this bounce dribble to you, the more options you'll have, because you'll be able to react a lot sooner to, like, let's say cut the ball left, right, or whatever. And then you can also see your opponent. If they like start charging in at you, you can just tap it away or pop it over them. Then if you were to have a very spread out bounce dribble, right? Let's say like you popped a little too far, you'll have to swing around harder to get that cut in. So yeah, just try to keep it nice and controlled. After a few bounces, you can go for a shot on target. So to get started on ground shots, just do the same thing as usual, get a pop, and then what you want to do is just create some space, and then you want to drive and then front flip into the ball just as it comes off the ground. So something like that. You can honestly shoot the ball with any type of flip. Just like play around with these options that you have. Side flip, front flip. You can even do a back flip shot if you time it well. It just puts a shot on target and you'll be not committing too hard too, so you could have more options. These bounce dribbles allow you to attack the net in a more creative way, and with the bounce you'll always have a potential to shoot a power shot, like just off of the bounce. You can just front flip into it with power and it'll be a pretty tough shot to save. The second drill is going to be ball carrying. So to start the ball carry, you want to get under the ball after you've popped it up, and after that you want to just use initially just try to use only your throttle button first, so no boost to begin with, and just try to keep the ball on top of your head as long as possible. It'll look something like this, and the way to do this is you can't hold your throttle button all the way down or else you'll reach your max speed without boost, right? And then if you reach max speed too soon and the ball isn't there, then you'll drop the ball like this, or the other way around, you might push the ball too far forward too fast, and then you just drop the ball like that. So it's all about just matching the speed and just trying to control it. Next step is to use boost as like a micro adjustment, right? So it's like if for some reason the ball is going a little too fast, you can hit the boost button to just catch up to the ball. So it'd be something like that. Now you have two variables to work on for your dribble. So ideally, if you can hold down throttle to start the dribble, it'll help your ball carrying a lot, because you can just get the ball onto your head sooner. So whenever you ball carry, if you see like a ton of sparks, that's not good. You don't want to see those sparks. You want it to be smooth, like 0 sparks whatsoever, like this. And that's what allows you to do these type of flicks in the future. If you take too long to like get your dribble started up, say it's like really choppy, it's all bouncy like this, then your opponent is gonna stuff it every time. They'll have a teammate to just go and challenge you. They'll just front flip at you to stop it or whatever. So good control on your dribble will really come a long way. It will allow you to like pop the ball over opponents, or like weave it left or right to dodge. And if you just have these options in your arsenal, it'd be better than if you had no control and all you could do was, you know, dribble the ball really choppy and it's bouncing around everywhere. So just focus on control for now, and when you kind of get a hang of like the car's sweet spot, you can definitely just try to do a front flip and see if you can get a flick on target. So that's gonna be it for this video. We just covered a good amount of basic ground movement. We barely scratched the surface of like what you can do in this game. And that's also why I love this game, because it's just a very deep game with a high skill ceiling and a ton of cool mechanics that you can do. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll probably do like some wall mechanics for my next video, but for now just work on the stuff that I taught you, these ground bounces and dribbles and power shots. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.